You are a busy micro business owner being a music studio owner. And that means that running social media can feel a little overwhelming, especially if when you are running your social media for your music studio, you're not getting any engagement. And so you're spending all this time creating posts, coming up with content, posting on all the platforms, and you think you're doing like all the things that you can to make it work, and then it's not working. I am here today to tell you that it can work if we can make specific shifts in our social media practices. And I'm going to share 3 of those tips with you here today. I'm really excited to tell you these because these are big game changers, and I have put them into practice in my own businesses. I have helped other people put them into practice in their businesses, and it works. So if you are joining me here right now, please be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Give me some thumbs up and some hearts and let me know that you are here with me. Hey there, Karen. Awesome. So good to see you. I forgot to bring up my title today. Let's bring that up here. I love that Karen is here because she is a social media maven and this girl really knows her stuff. So I think she can confirm that the things that hoping that she will confirm that the things that I'm sharing with you today are really true. All right, Elizabeth is tuning in from Central New York. Good to see you. Pete is tuning in from Fort Worth, Texas. Hello from Baltimore, Stephanie, and hello from Claremont, Anna. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for your patience today. You may have noticed that I'm a little bit later than normal, and that's because I ran into some crazy tech things this morning when I was running another training. So everything had to get shifted back. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate you being here. All right. The topic of the day. Let's rock your studio's social media in 2020. I have put together 3 awesome tips for you guys, and I'm super excited. I have a really awesome freebie. You guys know that I'm normally giving out the show notes, and I haven't been giving out like freebie goodness in a while. I made you a very special freebie. I made you an ebook, and I'm super excited to share it with you. I cannot wait for you to get a hold of this. So before we get to this, I want to say welcome to those of you who are new. My name is Sarah Campbell. I am a business marketing and mindset coach for music studio owners and online music education experts just like yourself. And I go live here on the business page every Wednesday at noon Eastern, unless tech things happen. And then I go at noon 30 Eastern. So again, thanks for your patience. Welcome to the broadcast. If you are new, please be sure to introduce yourself. If you have a teacher friend or a micro business owner friend who could benefit from learning social media tips and advice so that they can rock their socials, I want you to let them know about this broadcast right now. Definitely get this to them in Messenger, or tag them below. Let them know that this is happening. The more the merrier, because you guys know that we love to learn out loud here on the broadcast. So get ready to drop your takeaways as we learn here together. If you find something that is valuable to you, if you want to put it out into the universe that, yes, I'm going to implement this and I need to be held accountable, give us a hashtag takeaway below and let us know what is valuable to you. It's just a great way to learn together. All right, we've got so many people in the house. I'll say hello to Pliny and Laura and Kathy and Tara and Laura from Scotland. Ooh, we got Scotland in the house. Welcome. And I see Wendy is here from North Carolina. And oh, good. Virginia's tuning in from Minneapolis, and Patricia is here from Lake Forest, California. Welcome, guys. All right, shall we get to the goods? Okay. So I told you that I had a freebie, so I'm not going to hold it back from you. Many of you have already put the magic word into the comments because you noticed that I had it in the description. If you drop an ebook below, then the Savvy Sarah bot will message you here on Messenger and will send you a link to where you can download this freebie. It's really cool, and I'm going to give you details about it later. So don't rush on over to the bot and download it. Stick with me, because you can get a hold of that in a moment, but go ahead and put that ebook below if you want to get a hold of that. And let's get to the goods. Here we go. All right. So the idea here is that here's why I chose this topic. You guys know that I love to talk about social media. I also know that many of you are working really hard to stay present on your social media for your piano studio, your voice studio, your ukulele studio, whatever you teach. And it can be really time consuming because there are so many different platforms out there. We think about the Book of Face, we think about Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever pick your poison. Pick your poison. There are so many platforms that we can be on. And it can feel overwhelming if we feel like we have to do all the things. And so what happens when we find ourselves in that sense of overwhelm, two things happen. One, we give up and we walk away, right? And then what happens is that your social page kind of goes dormant. And when a potential client goes to your page, they see that you haven't posted anything in 4 months, and that has them wondering, like, are they even open still? Now, of course, they can go to your website and all that goodness, but we want to stay consistent on our pages. And so when we walk away from them, it's sad because it's a missed opportunity, right? And I'm going to tell you more about why those opportunities are important. So that's the first thing, right? We will get frustrated, throw up our hands, and we'll walk away. The second thing that can happen is that we will just spend tons and tons of time doing things, and we start just like throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? We're like not sure why it's not working, but we keep throwing that spaghetti at the wall, hoping something's going to stick. So it might mean that you fall into some practices that don't mesh well with the platform and don't play well with the algorithm. Now, I will be super clear. We do not understand the algorithms of these social medias. We cannot know exactly how they work because they ain't gonna tell us. However, we do know social media coaches will tell you this, like Karen can tell you this. We do know from experience that certain things work and certain things don't. So I'm going to go through 3 of those things today, and I want you guys to like grab a pen and grab a note, and then let's get started. Hey, Tony, you said you could watch these without downloading the app. You can totally watch it on desktop. Grab your desktop or your laptop and you can watch it from there. All right, let's get to tip number 1. All right, so our first tip of the day, and this is big, guys. Shared content doesn't work anymore. I remember when I first started building my Sarah's Music Studio page that you could share a post, like a post from somebody else's page. I'm being specific here. When I say shared content, I mean sharing a post from somebody else's page in order to get more views and more likes. Back in the day, when Facebook first started and they brought in those business pages, if you shared a post and that post was popular, what would happen is that shared post on your page would actually act like content that you had created. And so you would get shares from that post. You would get likes and comments from that post. But then the algorithm changed. So now when we share content from other people's pages, it doesn't get as much engagement. Now, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't share content. In fact, hey, if you feel so inclined and you're finding this valuable, go ahead and SHARE this right now. But here's the issue. If all that you're posting on your music studio page is sharing content from other piano teachers, maybe, like memes from other pages, like the one that comes to mind instantly is like Classical FM, right? Because they have really good content. Or you're sharing YouTube videos, or anything that's sharing. If you're sharing from another page, or if you're sharing content that is from outside the platform, so that could be sharing a blog post, sharing a YouTube video, anything like that. Shared content does not work very well. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't work completely, so I should probably change the way that I worded this. It doesn't work very well. So if 90% of the stuff that you are putting on your page is a shared post from somebody else, you're not going to have a lot of engagement. So show of hands right now. And hey, there is no shame in this. If over 50% of your content on your music studio's page is you sharing a post or posting a YouTube link, raise your hand. And it's okay. We can admit those things here to each other, right? Or if you have noticed that the shared content that you put out there does not get traction, let us know. So when this shift happened, people kept sharing links and wanting to get that traction, whereas before you could share a link or share a post from somebody else's page and get like 25 likes on it, get like 10 shares on it, and then that really boosted your page and it got you out there. That doesn't happen anymore. So the rule of thumb is that my advice to you, all right, you ready? I want only 10% of the content that you put on your page to be shared content. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip here about that shared content. If you if you found a meme, if you found a blog post or something that somebody else posted and you really want to share that content, here's how you do it. You're going to save that content. Okay? Save the content, save the picture, do whatever. Then you're going to create an original post. You are going to attribute that post by tagging the page. You're going to say, hey, I saw this post today and it just really made my day. I thank you so much. And then use the little @ symbol and tag that page. Make sure that it's attributed. So I'm not telling you steal content and act like it's yours. That's silly, right? But save that content, create an original post, and make sure that you attribute to the original person, right? Okay, I see some people raising hands. Pete, you're amazing, and I love ya. And then Christy's saying, hey. Elizabeth is raising her hand. Pliny's takeaway, and this is why my content gets more engagement than what I share from other places. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Phyllis, that's just to help others. Okay, Brenda, what if the YouTube share is your own performance? Great question. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions along the way, pop them in the comments, right? Okay, so, Phyllis, you're going to, not with a hashtag, but you would type at Sarah's music studio. So that's how you would tag my page, right? You would type the @ and then the page name. When you do that, it should pop up as blue, it'll actually generate as a link and you'll be able to tell that it's working. So Brenda, back to your question. The question is, what if it's a YouTube share of your own performance? So you can try to share. I have an experiment for you. You ready? Do these a couple days apart. Okay, do them a couple of days apart so that you don't have the same content back to back. I want you to create a post that is sharing a YouTube video of your own content. A couple days later, I want you to actually take that video and I want you to upload it to Facebook as a video on your page. You can do the same description. Compare those two posts. Look at your Facebook insights and see what happens. You're going to notice that the video you actually uploaded to the Facebook platform is going to get more views, more engagement, because Facebook loves people to stay on platform, right? There you go. Oh, good. You got it, Phyllis? Excellent. All right, so that's number 1. Shared content is not king, so don't give it a crown. Oh, I want to make that a quote. I'm going to write that down in the shared content is not king. Don't give it a crown. I think I need to make that into a social media thing. All right, next, number 2. You have to be a real human being. And this is where people get scared. And let me tell you why. So when I've worked one-on-one with people, or I've worked with people in groups, whether it's in the branding boot camp or if it's in the social media course, it is scary to be yourself on your business page. There's this mindset thing this trap that we fall into as music educators, and that when we are on our business page, we are only allowed to be about business. Let's play with that. Okay. Our business is very unique. Okay, right? We are a service industry. We're not products, right? Most of you are not products. Although if we have any product sellers here with us today, or if you're watching this later on in the rerun or the encore, so to speak, if you sell products in your business, I want to know about them. Tell us what your products are. Most of us are service based industries, because we are providing we're either providing a one-on-one service or providing a group service of music lessons. A big part of that service, whether you are a single studio owner or if you are a MTS, a multi-teacher studio, a big part of that product is you, right? A big part of that product are the teachers that you have working for you, because you are not a machine And when people sign up for lessons with you, they are not just getting a product, they are getting a service. That means that they are getting you, right? And your knowledge and your understanding of music. And so, if we believe that the only way that we can show up on our business page is that as a 100% professional, like kind of like washed clean person, and we can only talk about piano lessons or we can only talk about voice lessons, we are missing a key element to social media. It's social media. Emphasis on the social. We need to learn to show up as human beings. That might mean that we're not perfect. It might mean that we are allowed to share our likes and our dislikes, our hobbies, our passions. What is it that lights you up as a music studio owner? We need to be able to lean into that when we're making posts. So that, and here's why. Because people want to know who you are. It all taps into what I call KLT, right? This is an industry term that gets kicked around a lot. KLT, know, like, and trust. People will not buy a service from you unless they understand who you are as a human being. And so one of the things that I encourage my clients to do, and we talk about this in the social media course, right? We need to be able to show up as our authentic and amazing and awesome selves so that people can get an idea about who you are. What's your personality? Yes, Ella, sorry. It's so true. People want to work with people. Exactly. Here we go. Pete says, I am a human being. You are. Look at this. This is, okay, Laura and I have worked together in multiple ways. We've done branding boot camp. We worked on one together. And when she started making the shift, what happened to her social media was amazing. So she said, every time I post something about me or behind the scenes, I think, who really cares about this? But then I take a deep breath and I post it anyway. Surprise, surprise, they care. Laura, this reminds me of, you posted a picture that was of you with your piano teacher from when you were growing up. You were sitting on a couch together and you posted this picture and it went viral. Like, people were so excited to see this. There were so many likes and comments because they could see part of your journey and they understood what was meaningful to you, right? So we need to learn to show up as human beings. That can come in all types of ways, right? This can show up in many different types of posts. It can be doing a behind the scenes. It can be just being able to write with your tone of voice, right? Being able to write as you and not feeling as though you have to write like an academic. And I know a lot of us felt, if anybody has ever felt like you had to write like you were writing a term paper for music history or for music theory, let me know. Because a lot of us, those who went to school for music, we come out of that and we have this like writing style now that is like a little goofy. If you feel like that, if it kind of sticks with you, here's an invitation. I invite you to write like yourself, to be a real human being and to show up as you. If those of you who want to state right here and now, I promise to show up as a real human being in my social media posts for my music studio, I want you to give us that promise down here and we're going to hold you to it. All right. So number 3, who's ready for number 3? I need a sip. Oh yes, Karen, exactly. Thank you. No grammar police, please, right? I've already noticed in this post, there's a misspelled word and I may not fix it. Okay, let's get to number 3. Actually, I have 4 tips. I forgot. You guys get a bonus tip today. All right, so number 3, meet your audience where they are. Oh, good. We've got a promise. Karen says, I promise. Ooh, Karen, you're brave and amazing and I love you. Okay. This is important. Meet your audience where they are. Now, let's say that I want to show you why I'm saying this, because a lot of times I see when people are posting on their page, there's a disconnect between the service that they provide and what they are posting. So many promises. This is so good. Yes, takeaway from Elizabeth, different writing voices for different areas. Just kick back on social media. I promise to show up as a real human being. Yes, I love it. So many promises. You guys are amazing. All right, here's the disconnect that I see when I'm, because as a social media coach and marketing coach, I am on a lot of people's social media pages. In fact, I'm recording some Facebook page audits later today that are going to be posted for the social media course people. So I see a lot of content, and here's what I see sometimes. I see a page where it's clear to me, because I know this person, that they work with beginner piano students, right? But most of the content that they're putting on their page is like shares from classical FM or something where it's like this concert pianist who's playing. Disconnect, right? Because those parents of, the 7-year-old or the 6-year-old, seeing that concert pianist is not going to inspire them. They might go, oh, that's cool. But really what they want to see is where they are right now. So you need to understand your ideal client, and you need to understand what is it that they need to believe about themselves in order to start lessons. So they may not see themselves as that concert pianist, but they would be able to see themselves. Let's talk about the parent, right? Because this is really, the parent is the client if you've got a 7-year-old. What they would be able to see is if you shared a story about how you started piano when you were 5, or if you shared a picture of one of your beginner piano students who's just started, and you share a picture of them at the piano or a picture of them on Zoom with you, and you write a story about how they got started and how their parents are so excited because they're now able to play 3 songs, right? So we need to meet our audience where they are. Let's take another example of that. Let's talk about voice teachers. We got any voice teachers in the house? Who are the voice teachers in the house? Raise your hand. Hey, Sadie, nice to see you. Sadie, this is the second time that this has happened. Every time I say your name, Siri thinks that I'm talking to her. All right. So it's a voice example. Let's say that you work with voice professionals, okay? You work with voice professionals. However, the posts that you're making are of, young kids. Like, you want to work with voice professionals. Maybe you're making a shift and you really just want to work with the pros, but all of the content that you're putting out there is of young voice singers. So if that's the case, that pro is not going to see themselves in your content. So you need to meet the audience where they are. I see lots of voice teachers in the house. Good to see you guys. And some voice and piano people. I think we got a lot of those here today. So you need to meet your audience where they are. And if you don't know how to do that, you got to figure out who that ideal client is. Hey, side note. I wasn't going to mention this today, but I'm going to go ahead. Branding Bootcamp is opening soon. We are getting started on February 19th. That course is a deep dive into all of the branding aspects about getting to know your ideal clients, how to communicate your products and your features and your benefits, how to align your values with your business, all of that goodness, plus a bunch of social media and a bunch of like visual branding elements. That is going to be opening up on February 19th. I already have 3 out of 10 spots spoken for, and I haven't even put the sales page up yet. So if you are interested in joining us for Branding Bootcamp, I want you to put Branding Bootcamp in the comments and I will reach out to you personally. Okay, if you want to know more about that. All right, so that's the third one. Here's the bonus tip, because I came up with a 4th one, because this one's important. Consistency is key. And I know that that's not something that you probably want to hear, but you know that it's true. You teach this to your students all the time, right? Consistency is key. If somebody is only practicing 1 day a week and they're expecting to get all kinds of results, it's not going to happen. Same thing with us, right? If we are only making 1 post a week and we are expecting to see big results, we've got to adjust our expectations. So when it comes to consistency, what we want to do here is make sure that we are showing up at least 3 times a week. I know you're going, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. But I tell you what, when you can start really sitting down with your social media and understanding the categories that you need to post, understanding the types of posts that you can make, and setting aside honest to goodness business time when you do this, it's going to really work. right? So we need to, I know, like we think that, I had this discussion with Lee the other day. She's a piano teacher, sorry, voice teacher. Sorry, Lee, if I said that and you're in this later on. Lee, she's a voice teacher in Pittsburgh, and we were talking about, I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, I will come back to it. Okay, so we were talking about something amazing, and I was going to share it with you. But we're talking about consistency, getting. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I am like so scatterbrained today. Sorry, guys. Here's where we had this really cool conversation. Like when it comes to creating consistent content, right? We need to be able to identify a time in our business that is actually for creating content, because we normally think of our business hours as client facing. So you may think that you work 20 hours a week because you have like 20 hours worth of lessons. But let's be honest, you're probably working 40 hours a week because of all the other things. If you're not really intentional about sitting down and saying, this is my time to do this part of my business, then it's not going to get done. Whether that is filing receipts, writing emails back to people, doing scheduling, doing lesson planning, doing all these things. We need to actually schedule time in our day and say, these are my office hours, these are my business hours, these are my social media hours. That's where people fall into the trap. I think that's why people fall into the trap of not being consistent, because you don't see that as an actual part of your business. So it's time to set aside that hour, to set aside those 2 hours, to schedule your to create your content, to schedule your content, and to know that it's going to really work. Okay, so Laura, right? So you're saying your consistency has dropped, and so has the views of what you're posting. That's okay. The nice thing is you can pick that right back up. And Karen says her takeaway today is consistency is key. All right. Hey, let's talk about the freebie that I have for you guys today, and then we're going to do a quick recap for those of you who tuned in a little bit late to the broadcast. And so since we're doing that recap, if you do have a teacher friend that you want to get in on this, now's the time to invite them, because they'll get all of this in a boom, 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 right? So good takeaway, Cheryl, office hours, good stuff. All right, let's talk about the freebie. It's right on my face. I forgot to move it over. So I've made an ebook for you. Let me tell you about what's inside of this ebook. So I was trying to come up with, I'm like, what do I want to create for you guys? Like, what could I create that would be super valuable and give you ideas, like give you like specific actionable steps to take when you're making posts. So what I did is I curated a list of music holidays. This took me forever. I made a list of music holidays for every single month. And with this list, I have given you several bonuses, right? I have an entire page worth of advice about social media posting. So some of the things that I have today are on that page, but there are a lot of other things that are really super specific. I believe there are 7 or 8 tips there. So I've given you a page of social media posting tips that will help you get better engagement on your posts, right? And telling you super specific, like these are the things that you need to do and not do. Okay? So that's one of the things that's in there. There are 2 other things that I'm really excited about. The other thing is I've made 6 editable templates for you that you can use to create social media posts. So these are templates that I've created on Canva. Canva is free. Who's a Canva user in the house, right? Who loves Canva? So we've got 6 templates in there that are completely editable. You just have to click on them. They download into your Canva account and you can use those, right? So the second thing that I did is I created a video that shows you exactly how to edit them, because I know if you're new to Canva, or maybe you just haven't played around with Canva a lot, you like see the way people like change colors and fonts and like add logos and all of those things. I guide you through that step by step. It's only 5 minutes, so it's not going to take you forever to watch, right? So what do you get with this? You get the list of music holidays. You get my social media posting tips that will help you get more engagement. You get the 6 templates, and you get a video that tells you exactly how to use them. So if you want to get a hold of this ebook, here's how you're going to do it. You're going to drop an ebook below, and the Savvy Sarah bot will send it to you. Oh, hooray. I'm so glad that this is useful. Wendy says, I'm trying to learn Canva. This ebook is heaven sent. Yay on the video. Yes. I think that everybody's excited about the templates. Really good. Excellent. So I see that there was a question here. Let me get back up here. All right, Sadie says, thank you for all your positive vibes. I would honestly love to post more on social media, but when I do, I get loads of inquiries. I literally cannot take any more students. It's difficult to share my personality and business and not get inquiries. I know, I'm lucky, right? Okay, Sadie, I can't remember if you're inside of the social media course, but there's a thing that you can do to set up. Let me know. I'm assuming you're getting mostly inquiries through Messenger. If that is the case, you can set up your Messenger to have auto responses, right? To say like, I would like to, you could first have a greeting that says, thanks for joining us, or thanks for messaging the page. Our studio is currently full with a waiting list. If you would like information about the waiting list, click here. And then you can set up the response so when they click there, you actually send them where they can apply to the waiting list. So you would not actually have to have that conversation with them. I know that seems kind of weird, but when you're in that wonderful place where you have so many students that you literally do not have the time to respond to inquiries, it's time to automate that. So that would be my encouragement to you. Let me see, there was one other question here that I think is back here. Sometimes, okay, Wendy says, sometimes it's hard to think social media content because you don't know what to post about or where to begin. Yeah, Wendy, this is why one of the reasons that I've created the social media course, and it's the reason that I created this ebook, right? To give you guys starting points to think about what you can post. So if you want to get a hold of the ebook, grab it, drop an ebook below, and the Savvy Sarah bot will message you. Oh, good. Sadie, I'm so glad that that is helpful. Solving problems. All right. And I want to say, if that ebook has you interested in like learning more about social media, there is a social media course where you can join us. It happens inside of a private Facebook group, and it's got loads of units and video tutorials. So if that's something that you're interested in, it is evergreen. That means it's always open, and you are welcome to join us. So I'm excited about that because some new content is going to be going up in there. I am working on next week. I'm working on recording the Google My Business unit for that. So it's going to be really awesome. All right, let's do a quick recap. Oh, Phyllis, great. How much is the course? It's a one-time payment of $127, or you can split the payment up. And it's, I can't remember, it's 49 or 47, something like 3 months of 47 if you want to split that up. So I've made it super affordable. It's for right now, it is a one-time price. That may change in the future, not for those who are already in the course, but I'm just saying that may change in the future as I add more content. Let's do a quick recap. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. Quick recap. You deserve to rock your social media in 2021 so that you can attract more of the clients that you love and so that you can create a better sense of community with the clients that you already have. But you don't have time to do all the things. Here are 4 tips for you so that you can rock your social medias. Here are the things that you need to know. Number 1, shared content does not work as well anymore. So if 90% of your content on your page is you sharing posts from other places, my challenge to you is to flip that. Only 10% of shared content, and the rest of the content has to be original. I dropped a really super tip earlier in the broadcast about how you can share something and still make it look original and attribute. So go back and watch the beginning if you want to learn how to do that. Number 2, you need to be a real human being. And I know that can feel scary. But trust me, when you make that step and you show up as your awesome and authentic self on your business page, people will know you, they will like you, and they will trust you. And that we need those 3 elements in order for them to sign on to your services. Number 3, you gotta meet your audience where you are. So where they are. And so if you don't really 100% understand who that ideal client is, there could be a disconnect. I want you to think about, who is it that you want in your studio? You need to post content that will speak to them, that will speak to their needs and desires so that they can envision themselves working with you, right? So make sure that there's not a disconnect in what you're posting versus the people that you want to attract. Number 4, consistency is key. It's what you tell your students, right? If you only practiced once a week and you're expecting results, that's going to be a really long journey. However, if you practice 5 days a week, your results are going to be so much better. Same thing that happens with social media. If you are consistent with your content and if you actually build time into your business to say, hey, these 2 hours a month are when I schedule out social media, you're going to thank yourself. All right. Whew. That was a lot. Oh, Karen, thank you. She says she loves the social media savvy studio. Rebecca says rockin' social media is a huge goal for you and your business, and you rarely post and you need to change that habit. Rebecca, I'm glad that you're here today. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I will be back next week with more goodness for you. Don't forget, if you want to grab that ebook, just drop an ebook below and you can grab a hold of that from the Savvy Sarah bot. She will set you up. I really hope you enjoy that. And I can't wait to see your posts out on the interwebs. It'll be great. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. My name is Sarah Campbell. I'm a business, marketing, and mindset coach for music studio owners and online education experts just like yourself. And you can find me live here every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern on the business page, where we talk about those things, where we drop all the business tips, where we talk about marketing and social media, and where we talk about the mindsets that we need in place in order to achieve our goals. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you next time. And in the meantime, stay savvy and stay you, because there's no teacher in the world like you, and you're pretty dang awesome. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for being here. Bye.